live from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. We own challenge now on our program where they talk about issues them we get for those person where they live with disability. And the program they give voice to all disabled people them in the country. And they come to a live from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. And they listen to on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl, or you can watch we live on Radio Democracy Facebook page. The program they listen to now we own challenge, and you can be part of the program by way how we can send you message to the number on 077-981-981. Well, with me today in the studio, I get different guests them we can talk, as we all know say the coronavirus then at the country. Well, waiting them different organizations then don't they do for sake of this coronavirus for help disabled people them, as we know say now then are vulnerable people them, and when they sick they so they go affect them bad one. So well then they are then come up from different groups them for can talk about the work and waiting and on the do. The program is still listened to now we own challenge where they can to live from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. You listen to it on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl, or you can send a message to the number on 077-981-981 for be part of the program. Well, we go take with first issue inside the program. Usai the country representative for the African Youth Disability Network, Abubakar Bangwa, don't say inside one research way the organization do. Then find out say disabled people need more hand sanitizer. We go help them know for come in contact with the virus sick. It talk this inside one interview to democracy for sake of one donation with the African Youth Disability Network. Go get to the Mintimagai School for the Blind inside Freetown this being time. We report at Check No Jalo gets more and gonna reports.
As the fight against the coronavirus sake, don't they continue? Beside different people and organizations, don't they support government and community people with different items them where people go use for tap the virus, not for scatter all about the country. Make the Africa Youth Disabilities Network when one organization willing to work on disability issue for long term now. Don't go get hand sanitizer, tissue, bucket and different other things them to the Multimagai School for the Blind as their own support to the disabled community in the country. But how this donation come about? Abubakar Bangwa, now the country representative for African Youth Disabilities Network.
We realize since we get this pandemic in our country, we be able to identify some gaps. We want to make with the health partners them, particularly Abilis Foundation and Osiwa, with Mawako Foundation. So we've been done to say gap. We are people with disability don't left there. So we think so we can close that gap. So what we do, we get some small fund for just Western area. We are able to give some small donation, but not to the one number. The messaging because we offer an social plan among people with disability in the fight against COVID-19.
And continue to say disabled people need more hand sanitizer. We then go use to prevent themselves from the COVID-19 sick more than soap and water.
Well, as you can see, we get soap, we get tissues, we get Veronica bucket. But for persons with disability, hand sanitizer more effective for we, particularly physically challenged and visually impaired. We don't want to do promote because as you can see, I'm not able to wash my clothes, I will wash my hand. If you're not a blind person not able to leg and wash the person when you move it, neither in white skin. But if you get access to sanitizer, it's very, very expensive, you know, you're able to get effectiveness in the preventive measures that we government put in place. All of these attach about 53 million euros for the entire Western area because we target 40 disabled homes. We today now also we start.
Abubakar Bangua end up calling on disabled people for ensuring that they take all the preventive measures them, where well body will command them that the Ministry of Health and Sanitation don't advise the general public for abide to.
If you look at the overall budget we put, it's far they don't, you know, because not only Freetown, because we open our Freetown, Bukabala and Kono, so what for target all the areas and there as well. Well, we expect, say one, government for OB for see the need, particularly for persons with disability, will lay emphasis on hand sanitizer, because hand washing not that effective for we, particularly physically challenged and visually impaired. And so we need some of them for carry on, and then we see inclusive fight at the end of the day. So the disabled people, them know that COVID-19, we clearly say people don't survive You know, people that we not get disability forget hope. But to be honest, if we all disabled, we not get no hope in that and the agent, because if we all it can be more effective than somebody we not getting impairment. So we all win a certainty for make we die. But like people that we not to disable them, they're able to survive. So we take to and comply with the government, the measures that we need to put in place.
When we receive the items on behalf of the school, the headmaster for the Miltimara School for the Blind, Sally to talk about how life don't turn for them at the school during this pandemic.
Yes, indeed. Our children are living in their various homes. But you know what? This school is so special to them. There is no single day that 1, 2, or 3 of them would call to find out when are we coming back. They are even tired of sitting home. You know, they are really, really tired. They enjoy, I'll tell you that they enjoy being here than even sitting in their various homes. So, but we hope and pray that this pandemic be over very soon. I also feel so much very lonely. Some of the parents are here. They have also been shown very great concern. I remember on that day of the fire incident, less than 10 minutes, one of the parents came and was just shouting at the gate, crying.
Sally to end up thanking to the Africa Youth Disability Network for this donation and being promised say them na the school go ensure say they use them items for the right purpose. For the Society for Radio Democracy, me, Nachang Chalo, the report.
The program is still a listen to na we own challenge where they can to live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. You listen to on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl. Well, like as I've been just say, again different people coming from different organizations them where therefore can talk about what they do during this corona time, as we all know say the disabled people and the people who are vulnerable in this fight. Well, I get Masiri Brahma, we are the executive director initiative for young women and girls with disability. Well, therefore can talk about within the organization. Don't they do? Good afternoon, welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
Initiative for young women and girls with disability. What do you bring about for set up this organization?
Thank you very much. This is an organization we purely cater for women and girls with disability. This organization came about we be particularly with Sidonia where I lose my sight. When I lose my sight, what I do, I begin do visibility studies. So from the studies where I do, I find out say women living with disability, we're more vulnerable and we lag behind in terms of governance, education, and what have you. So I call a blind colleague when me and I lose the sight the same year, when I add on a speak camera. I say, let we join together because we don't share similar plights the same year. Let we form an organization. We're the assistant director presently. So we come together. I said, but purely with vision for women. I said, but another for be completely feminist organization. I said, you know, so say man and woman, they man for daily. So we formed this now. So this organization came about. When I find out, say, woman then, where they live with disability, will really lag behind the man in the out. So we will not try for jealous them. But when you look, take a look of Sierra Leone in particular, and not see one day we say a woman with disability don't be of high profile in this country. And not one day see we say a woman with disability don't get a very lucrative job in the mainstream apart from them teaching work them. And most people, most women and girls where they live with disability, most of them they are illiterates. So as an organization, we come about this organization for see how we advocate for the rights and privileges of persons living with disability. And that's how this organization come about.
Okay, now with the basic way you do explain say una set up this organization, what everything una don't do, una don't achieve?
We set this organization last year, 2019. But we don't do so many things. My first project where I host now the talent show for persons with disability. When at the Tanges Festival. Because we believe in inclusion. As an organization, we believe in inclusion. So I've been getting for meet free time players. I tell them say we get rights, forget boots now, we will not pay a cent. I quote the Disability Act to them where they govern we. So then we get for give space. Through the commission, then sponsor we National Commission for Persons with Disability. Then sponsor we go build a booth, address people then from McKinney way come. We do that basically for many people that know say disability is not inability. Because they always see us as non-entity. They see us as nothing good should come out of us. And even for us to bath or take care of ourselves, we need somebody for take care of ourselves. So for break that kind of barrier, I count a blind woman for many people they can't see say blind person they plant and make hair. For make ribbon. I count people then at the booth there where now people the way now their own talents now music will be get different programs that we host. So we do that program there December. The whole of December will be in there. Then after that, and we don't they move as an organization, we don't they move. Because most of the time what they hear say somebody don't disabled, this person don't blind, they don't become amputated, or this person don't get physically challenged, then he's so depressed. So sometimes when we don't go through all the challenges and they, I don't face in them things and they, I don't able to manage and combat them. People can call on me, we can go provide psychosocial counseling for them as an organization. And so at the end of it, they can accept their situation. We don't do that. After that, we form a consortium where we go meet characters as well during this COVID-19. We go meet them, we talk them, tell them, say, colleagues disabled are there who are suffering. Now, movement is limited. So we now for help, we forget food stuff for them. So characters, they adhere to we appear. Then in there for supply. Then the Friday for me, so Saturday government do in supply. We don't do on Friday through Caritas as sponsor. We will supply 150 disabled people then with 10 kilo, 20 kilos of rice and 2 multigrain. We do that. And we don't still fight. We do sensitization. We always meet people disabled people that will tell them, say may they not trivialize this thing. If disabled you mistake, you trivialize this. You got affected, you'll be in a state of jeopardy. We don't do that. So last week I've been there Waterloo as well. I'll go Waterloo as an organization. We go there with the team. We go ask them waiting at them felt need. So the chairman we did been there for 10 minutes say from where Corona starts, nobody not ever go supply give them any sanitary kits. So I came back, we did an advocacy through Rokel Commercial Bank, the sponsor we go supply sanitary kits to them. We don't do that. And even as they talk, we don't even again got another sponsor from GTB where we get for go do another program. And as they talk to you again, we don't get microfinance, Eco Bank microfinance. Then say don't tie there, just ranga one say, then go sponsor we for do another donation.
Okay, well, that's na Masi Ibrahima, the Executive Director, Initiative for Young Women and Girls with Disability, being done the talk about what they don't do. Well, I will get for come back to you for can talk about how this coronavirus do affect our work and what we don't do so far. Well, also I get with me the country representative for Africa Youth Network Salone, Abubakar Bangura, when himself there for can talk about the work and what himself they do for help the disabled community during this corona time within our country. Good afternoon, welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
The Africa Youth Network Salone, basically within this organization, they're all about and how to come about or set up this organization.
Thank you very much. The African Youth with Disabilities Network Sierra Leone, a network we formed way back in 2011 in Kenya, Nairobi. After one meeting with them be all, we been get about 50 youths that we disabled across Africa. So like after that meeting, they decide for transform into a network. So Sierra Leone fortunate for be part of that, and again, fortunately, Sierra Leone been happened for be the first set up the first country charter in 2012. We start now Sierra Leone, and since then we've been able for get the attention of we found in partner Odona Wina Oshiwa we've been done the sponsor. We've set up the secretariat and do the establishment of the network now, Sierra Leone. And also before that even, they be done to provide trainings for the global body now Senegal, I think on 1 or 2 term. And since then up to date, then also day by week. So the African Youth with Disabilities Network, they operate now Freetown, Kabalabo and Kono at the same time. And we get 10 members present specifically. They are well trained in advocacy and campaigns over the years. We don't do for them continuous training. And also we get 4 thematic areas we work within. We now access to employment, access to education, youth rights and governance, and sexual and reproductive health. And also we go with Secretariat number 62 Campbell Street. Since this pandemic starts, now the world we all know say very serious when the coronavirus, and we stay put like they observe how the general sensitization they go, and we pick on certain things. Then two main things we'll pick on. That is one, the messaging. 2, the emphasis on the preventive gears that we use based on the category of disability that we do. That's why disability issue is a very complex issue. When people can maybe say you address just one category, say a visually impaired person in situation, or particularly state institutions, they go say we don't have the disabled there. But not just one category you target, because you get other categories them, and the discrimination and the challenges them varies as per categories. So we realize say, well, one, for like hearing impaired or them people are in the same mumu or deaf and dumb, we know say they need to get able listen radio so. And sometimes even they watch television, they need to understand. Except now, we thank God that television station some of them they sign now. Yeah, we need to do very well. But not all members get access to television. So, and most of the messages the way they go are just audio. Even when they will televise the person, there is no way out in the interpreter into sign language. So that's another problem. One problem. Another problem now that the preventive gears. Now for a visually impaired person or a physically challenged person, if I keep on for wash me hand, I not effectively prevent myself from the virus, because definitely I move by touching. And one of my primary contact na my crutches or my wheelchair, or maybe the person where they carry me around as a blind person, or my white skin what they use. So we look at some of them gap here and say, well, let me just put something together and try for attract we partners them. So like we get the attention of Abilis Foundation. We a film-based organization. We I believe most disabled organization, So like them get for support we, and also we get another partner organization. We now Bakaramo Foundation. We like the CEO the United States, and also we get Osiwa. We of course now founding donor them, and themselves don't be supportive to we throughout this fight. So we decided to put something together and approach the EOC, and we get for outline some of the challenges there to them. And thankfully to the EOC, first them be able to listen to we, and we'll be able to get their attention and then serve the city gap. And so far then they provide support. Like as you see, you be there in one of the distribution we'll do today, where like some of the IC materials they want them provide them even, and they even provide training extra for we, because this is not a general advocacy. This is not an advocacy where you go guess face people any guy you gotta protect yourself, because you don't know the person where you go meet in status. And you self when you go meet the person, not go for go prevent, then you go cause more danger because your status need for be up there. So like we really appreciate them for that. Since that we don't target about 40 homes across Freetown and Western area in general, urban and rural. Like during the weekend, we start from the Military High School for the Blind, And during the weekends, we been there na the rural districts. We see a lot of challenges there as well, because we target 18 DPOs na the rural districts, because when you look, then get high number of homes na that side than even in Freetown, in Freetown, the main capital. So like we target them first, then whilst we continue na Freetown na the urban as well. So we realize still some of them not able to get any proper gears. And if you look on the emphasis who they lay with a hand sanitizer, it's very, very expensive. I recall when the COVID-19 starts, particularly when His Excellency pronounced it don't start it around when neighboring country for prepare for something like that. So like we've been buying sanitizers and we are like 10,000. The one that will be buy something like 3,000, about 10,000. We think that it don't go up with the. But to be honest, by the time we don't put to budget and get something outside, trust me, it don't go something like 80,000 to 90,000 and in fact even scarce at a point. But we thank God we understand, say the medical student, and they try for improvise and see how best they make we own local sanitizers. So but a very, very challenging for people with disability. Like you see Panemba will be there today as an example. When you look them, you will not say they cluster. When you look them now, one toilet facility they get. So how them people end up able to prevent themselves? If you one person, no matter who side will get the virus, now times the number of people that we did it, now then go get them, because there is no way how somebody could be exceptionally, because they all they touch most of the same surfaces, the same toilets, so they do things there in common, and the place not that improve for proper human standard living, and so we try for conscientizing, make them see the need, because it's about not only about they support you, but you as well get for be prepared, get for accept for say it's real, and you have to take your own measures one way or the other. So you get for change your mindset about the virus, for say it's real. And one thing very important now that we persons with disability, particularly physically challenged, now that most of we already get problem with respiratory system. Medically, doctors and they prove that most of we, and all we power, all we strength, they within we chest. And COVID-19, when you hold in other side, it force in the attack. And when you attack them with you other parts, them we know that functional, it can be more detriment for you, because most of the people them when we don't talk to outside this country, we not disable them. They tell you say, well, yes, me personal doctor don't reach me. If I like me not get for go work. Even when they relax the lockdown now, then it's up to now most of them, particularly in Europe and America, then they inside us, because they really know the danger of this sick to people with disability. So like they really they inside us up to now. If you're able to work from home, if you're not able to work from home, your employer will be able to understand. So,
okay,
yeah.
well, I will get back to you for talk about the challenge we now get in this fight. Well, also, I get with me Abubakar Raymond Kamara, when I the founder for Advocacy for Girls Sierra Leone. Well, India for can talk about one campaign we they want for do for say girl picking them doing this thing. Good afternoon once more, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, listeners.
The Advocacy for Girls Salone, waiting don't be on a rule so far for improve girl picking them life in the country.
All right. Firstly, when you talk about Advocacy Network for Girls Sierra Leone, now one picking organization, we 3 years ago then founder on June 16, 2017. Thank God we anniversary they come as soon as possible. By June 16 next month we celebrate the 3-year anniversary. The organization specifically they look on issues that affect girl picking in this country, not only in the country but as the world as a whole. We also empower young girls where they work so hard for make them reach the goals. At the end of it, they're able to reach to the goals where they seek for. For the past 3 years, we don't embark on so many things as an organization. We don't contribute aimlessly for CCA, girl picking problem for being raised out there so that the less privileged picking will be doing that if we're able to get own problem. As an organization, I will just look on few of the things that when we don't do as an organization. One, we don't deal the embark on campaigns. We just don't conclude with campaign when an agent of change. Of course, when you talk about agents of change, now a campaign where they change somebody in perception. If you think say you want to become a dropout, would you create a way so that you yourself will always realize a potential as girl and woman. Also, relating to the free quality education as an organization, we don't contribute aimlessly for work with the government of Sierra Leone for contribute towards the free quality education. We organize so many activities there, like spelling bee competition. We don't organize other different activities we relating to educational aspects, but few. And currently, before the corona just one come, we almost introduce one competition, one system that Sierra Leone will not ever be, what they call the national public speaking. If I not say God picking, they're not outspoken in public. They're not ever outspoken. So like we don't partner with up to 60 schools for participate at this competition, but just the corona, we just don't hold everything. We don't work hard for CCA. We reach to the layman. We don't work hard for CCA. We preach messages we're relating to positive so that themselves as girls were able to go out and realize the potential as girl picking. We don't work for CCA. We employ them, we tell them about leadership qualities, we tell them who that na girl picking, and you as girl, I always they tell me girls then because the organization get more than 300, up to close to 400 girls then, in different communities, schools, and so on. We always they tell them, say, try for be a girl, so that you self go able to go out, you comping girl picking go able to admire at you, and you go able to do potential things then where you go able to achieve a life. As an organization, we then embark a lot.
So now during this corona time, what you know be the challenge so far for girl picking them?
The challenges are a lot, of course, even though currently this sick get an impact of being at home and not like Ebola where you do with it all over. But this, in the final say every 2-3 weeks or every 1 month, 2 months, we they go under lockdown. But as girls, they don't face so many constraints during this kind of pandemic where we they observe. So we sit down as an organization, we set up, we go out and do some proper foundations relating to the issues that would affect girl picking there, and we decide say well, let we come together and do a campaign, an awareness campaign. We I think no other organization that come up with for do this kind of campaign for talk to girl picking them and tell them about the potential and tell them how they be able to handle situation in life. And we campaign team say no to sexual offense. Together we stand as girl with the beat corona. That's now we campaign in team. Of course, when you just like small we based on the founders when we do before we bring up this campaign. One, we'll find out say what is the cause teenage pregnancy, sexual offense, prostitution, and cost of living. Based on we found this. Secondly, we'll find out say poverty also they lead towards all them things that I don't mention. When you talk about cost of living, now a system where everything we're relating to food stuff or food materials or minus food, anything we're relating to shelter, just the rise up. For example, if they sell let me say 1 bag rice that they sell 100,000, you finally see now if you not get 200,000, you not able to get or you not get that you 150 or above, you not able to get them. So we're able to pick up all the issue there, cost of living, really they go ahead. Then not always stopping, we go talk to them in communities ask them the problem what did they face, then able for applying some of them problems before we go there. What we able for map out as an organization, then are the same things that also the goal is to we. So we say, well, as an organization, when we go out, you find out that during Ebola, we get a lot, the highest teenage of sexual offense in not only being in Sierra Leone but in Africa. We get the highest teenage sexual offense. We find out say one, we get a lot of people that will get belly doing that Ebola. We find out back say we get a lot of girls then we gonna marry those when they even suppose for gonna marry those, they end up for gonna marry those. And when you gonna marry those, the next offense where you face is sexual harassment. And when you face sexual harassment, that can lead you for make you go in a situation of frustration. Some parents then, so even though you're some parents not be the same people in back, they do all them things they are for send them picking their marry those, which is totally wrong. And we don't work for CCA. We preach this message, and I could engage medias, community sensitizations, and then other different area there for CCA. This message will be spread out and go out to the public so that them back will realize say educating a girl, you don't educate the nation. But me always get the perception say when you educate a girl, not to the nation only you educate the world. Understand? Because when you educate the world, it's like everybody go be say, well, I admire this person, I admire this person. So like you as a girl, you educate them, you educate a lot of people. So now that as an organization, we don't do the work for CCA. We reach to the epic there so that God people always realize their problems.
Okay, well that's Abubakar Raymond Kamara. We're not the founder for the network Advocacy for Girls Salone. Well, also I get Blessing Bangura. We na member na this organization. Well, in there so for can talk about the problems the more than they get as girl. We they are today with me and studio for can raising concern. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon. And the problems that now this country will they face as girl picking, like teenage pregnancy, early marriage, and the violence. And this advocacy network for girls Sierra Leone, a child organization where they deal with the association of girl picking then at this country, and as the motto say, promoting the dignity of girls. So we as girl picking we for focus on we education and we not for follow man them. This teenage pregnancy they destroy we education, and it's so much in this country that almost 55% of girl picking don't go through this teenage pregnancy. And this advocacy network for girls Sierra Leone, they also help girl picking therefore say no to violence and say yes to education. And you as parent, you know for send you picking for go married to man where a young if for done in book and if for learn and be somebody to marry in the future. And therefore pull and per each and every violence. And as we don't begin up this campaign, say no to sexual offense, together as girls with a beat corona. And we for stand up as girls, we for pull and per all violence and for say yes to education.
Okay, well that's na Blessing Bangura. When a member na the network Advocacy for Girls Salone, they talk about the challenge we like then they get as girl picking them. The program is still a listen to now we own challenge where they can to rely from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. You they say also listen to we on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl, and you watch we live now Radio Democracy Facebook page. Today with me I get different organization they we there for can talk about the work and self how the coronavirus don't they affect the disabled community them outside then don't they talk about the work then don't they do and self the concerns that we they get. Well, we go take this other material inside program outside the media monitoring officer and the emergency operation center Alasan Jalo advise disabled people them for the fact that the different measure them we well body people them and government don't advise say them for do for make go get the coronavirus. Alasan Jalo talk this way Africa Youth with Disability Network Salone together with Baka Bakaramo Foundation, with support from Osiwa and other organizations, go give hand sanitizer, bucket and other things them to disable, help empower polio persons organization at Pademba Road. Well, I'll be part of this and put these reports together. Disability by the fight against COVID-19 now one big concern where the African Youth with Disability Network Salone concern boards with this make they don't go and talk to different disabled group them but this virus and how them for prevent themselves. Abubakar Bangura now the country representative for the African Youth with Disability Network Salone.
We are the African Youth with Disabilities Network Sierra Leone. We believe inclusivity in anything is everything as far as the war against COVID-19 concerned. We watch at the fight of the coronavirus for gap day. The messaging to we are the one, two are the gears and what we use. We for be effective to be. If we continue for use hand sanitizer as people are disabled, it will be more effective for me than hand washing, because if you wash your hand, you're not able to wash it watch. If you wash your hand, you're not able to wash your pets. We believe hand sanitizer is more effective. Research don't prove for when it catch disabled person, there is certainty for you for die.
Inside in talk, the media and monitoring officer na the emergency operations center Al-Hassan Jallo been talk about why important for make disabled people them follow the measure them we well body workman them don't put.
You want to physically challenge a vulnerable person, and this coronavirus is real, it did. So now me and you two for combat this sick, and me and you two for fight for let this sick get away from now we country. Una be physically challenged people, una be very careful, una adhere to the rules and regulations where the Minister of Health and Sanitation put. If ever they call person for help, you make sure that you wash your hand. Then coach there. Not just wash your hand no more, you coach them as well. Hand washing for now, it will be part of food. It will for the maintain social distance. And me to advise anybody, if you don't say you don't get anything important for go do at crowded places, not go there. Then I post. Let we avoid overcrowded places. Then they use hand sanitizer. And the hand sanitizer for the use, not to any type hand sanitizer. If you work for the alcohol content, we get at least 60%.
But waiting them people I think about this support. Ishmael Kombabori, now the chairman for the Disabled Help Empower Polio Person, now the Pademba Road, be explained.
We appreciate this particular gesture this visit at this point in time, especially during the fight against this COVID-19. We don't get a lot of donations from the territory spread and carry them, from the Cangarian sanitizer bucket and other things, but AYW and the Africa Youth with Disability Network, then donation, I think a backup with a lot of message package, very, very much vital and important to we as persons with disability, especially within the PWD Pademba Road. We appreciate this one so much, this even more than we can go for 5 address, because it has to do with my life, the life of my members and my community for protecting myself.
Ishmael Kombabori be end up call on other organizations them for support persons with disability as na then are the vulnerable people them in the fight against this virus in the country. For Radio Democracy, Princess Piasley reports. The program is still listening to na we own challenge where they can to live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. You dey listen to on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl and self you dey watch we live na Radio Democracy Facebook page. Well, I still get with me my studio guests them where they talk about the work where they don't they do during this corona time. Masiri, before we don't talk about some of the things way your organization they do, how not don't they help for empower women and girl picking them. So during this corona time, how this do affect on our work?
It don't affect you greatly. As you know, see this COVID-19 does just limit so many activities then. And because like prior to now, we don't think of a campaign wherein we do statistics for know how many women and girls living with disability in this country, and that's what we for don't do on the felt needs. Then from that point, we can able to know which area we will come in terms of implementation. Because when you know somebody in felt needs, that is the time you go really know whatever you give to them, they go appreciate them. But now COVID-19 don't just limit everything. We say when they go out for go do advocacy, we dey risk for life. But we get the opportunity for go out, but some of them not go get the opportunity for go advocate. So if we say we dey sit down and because COVID-19 don't limit it somehow, then we colleagues out there might perish. So now it make some of we they take the venture with the risk with life, we they go out, we they go advocate for ensure say then get sanitary keys and for ensure say some of them get food at the table. So it don't really limit to activities because like some donors they not even they allow some people then for even see them. Even for you for make you go submit your proposals na a challenge because they know they allow you everything online then they do they know they so it don't limit so many activities then we will be ones to embark on. But like I always say, there is still life after COVID-19. We can still continue whatever. Being that na COVID now, we will advocate and say we help for promote, protect, we colleague disable them, and we say serve as well.
Okay, the issue of gender-based violence and sexual assault now one key concern with the organization and on the raise during this time because then they say while the fight coronavirus, then issues they are safe also matter in this fight. So and most of the disabled women they don't get constrained so they can talk about night husband and self the other challenge where they can beat them. So concerning this, una don't they advocate for women who they live with disability where they go through the kind form of violence, yeah?
Yes, we don't advocate for that. Because like you say, this sexual-based violence nothing where they on the increase. And people know they even afraid God, then they even violate women with disability again. Because you being a woman alone, without disability, you are vulnerable. Let alone you are disabled. And you is a deepest class of states of vulnerability. Then people they still violate them. Coupled with that now, and can just left them in a state of jeopardy. Because if somebody disabled, like for instance, you go rape them, that stigmatization, that stigma where it don't get, it go live with them for the rest of their life. Not to everybody they able to accept certain situation. If somebody disabled, you don't go violate in rights. You don't go, then domestic violence. You don't go do touram. It make it go anticipate so many things. Now that's even make some disabled people then can be shy, some women then. Because if they don't go through so many stigmatization, some man can shy and even say, me I'm not even relevant self in the society. But me I disabled again and they can't rape me, then they violate me. Waiting again. So life not even meaningful to me. You see? So if they live there in a state of jeopardy, some of them they live with that throughout the rest of their life. They're not able to manage that situation. And as I say, we as an organization, we will continue for advocates and team up for the rights of women and girls with disability until we see say some of them they don't stop them.
Okay, well, that's Namasi Ibrahima, the Executive Director, Initiative for Young Women and Girls with Disability. Well, now I go to Abubakar Bangura, when I the country representative for Africa Youth Network Salone. Now, una key message way una they go with during this time, we see outside they say a more preferable for like disabled people in the use and sanitizer than for the wash their hand. What's in the reason for why you think say the hand sanitizer more preferable for letting they wash their hands? Then?
Well, like Abby say and I don't say now that there is no way we get the unique buckets them around. We too they promote hand washing on the general basis, but specifically for persons with disability, particularly physically challenged and visually impaired, they promote hand sanitizer because we only make provision for the wash we hand. If we say with the wash we coaches them, it's just not possible somehow. Provision only for that, and some community don't get limited water even. So all the challenges and the when you look if I not just possible, then like let me say a visually challenged person, we go to move with somebody, we touch that person, and that person get for come in contact with other surfaces or individuals as well. So you know, say before you can help me, go wash your hand. You understand? As a disabled person, as a physically challenged person, I can work as a for them. You way like an able person, you will get that feeling and rush for can help me. You don't get that consciousness. They say, "I go ask me hand first with this man don't for do this disabled person don't for them. Make I go ask me hand first." No. So all which you need for do as disabled person, just do with your sanitizer. You rub them na your hand, and you can also rub them na your device, because research don't prove say any sideways sanitizer pass with the virus they die. So that one they very very easy. So now that make we promote more of hand sanitizer, and now a proposal we don't put to the EOC. We like them don't give a promise. We hope that they go able for come in, because you don't need for even pass and through, but at least let it reach the disabled homes thing. You know, hand sanitizer, let it sanitizers, and let it reach the disabled homes thing. So that one will help effectively, because it's very very difficult, because the last distribution I would say, for example, Naxa, we like them give one soup. We some would use on was, some would use on for book, you know. But if not be sanitizer, them give them one way more effective, you know, them for use on for the intended purpose, because except otherwise, but for now sanitizer over 95% they use them for the purpose. You know, anything else for use them for, except you rub them na your hand, you know. So most people they use them for the intended purpose, and it will be more effective than for the was we and then after that you can't touch back your coach, or you can touch back your wheelchair, or you touch the same surface, you know. So man they waka in the hole in foot. You don't contact the surface. That in footway in the hole. It work trusses. I go ask that trusses at that point, or what's in foot. You know. So it is very, very critical somehow. It's very, very critical. But if you have sanitizer, by the time you pass them now that particular trusses or whatever, that virus don't die. So that's why we encourage government for really be specific, and we want to appreciate the EOC. We hope that all the promises we don't make, and I believe they go able for boost their own work, particularly in this fight, as they're not the leader in this.
Okay, so the push for hand sanitizer we disabled people for the use frequently. So how much percent you think say the kind of sanitizer they would for the use?
Well, some people are going to tell you above 60%. Some people will tell you above 70%. But we get sanitizer and we are 99.9%. We are then we purchase, because we want the thing for be so effective. So if in a small self you use, make it be so effective. Let we go for the maximum. Let we not go for the lesser. Whether above 60%, we applicable, fine. But let me go for the highest, because the virus, like they say, not for die, but it's very very effective for destroy, and the certainty where it gets on persons with disability, the danger where they pose to people who are disabled, we not for even encourage them half, because if, like I say, like Palemba, for example, you get one COVID-19 victim inside it. God forbid. At times the entire number of people are already there, because it will spread so fast. It will spread because the place, you know, not that upgrade, and most disabled home not so then they, you know, not that upgrade for live, you know, where you go get a standard life. So that's why, with or without coronavirus, we call on other partners, you know, for letting them watch around, particularly disabled organizations within the Freetown axis. Making them see how best they go for upgrade the lives of people who are disabled. At least if that person not get work, okay, let me say it's big, but when he come home, make himself realize in a mortal man. He live now a decent society, and he live a better life. But if you look as from what we don't view, where we say out of what we don't see, we get more organizations then where they're in need of what we don't give out to than which we don't give. You know, more they. because like I say now, Waterloo, one of the great challenge we get, we contact like because I think within Waterloo we contact about 5 or 6 up to 8 organizations around Waterloo axis because Grafton you get more disabled homes them around Grafton Hastings area. We see number of them come out. So man feel saying a government supply. So man feel, so you see the urge. Say we don't know when they give it, no one they come to it. We don't want the benefits from anything since this COVID-19 starts. So how we for able to expand and reach to them people and they, if not by providing the gears, but the messaging, and also this is not something what we want to have for doing that we want to have to put together a guide or like because we understand say the EOC they try to put up a strategy and this way like we will really be willing for give your inputs. But like we too report which we don't find out because we don't see something what we not been see what we they put together we report we proposal for this particular distribution. So some of them gaps then they again we will see our best partners and go able for come on board. Let we see how best we go try for fill and gap then they and again free travel to salon. Like I say, we they work across the country and we don't get a lot of calls. I recall you in the Ebola, like me, then they assign me by then I'll be the programs person for this organization, then they assign me Kabbalah. And Kabbalah we all be aware say now be the last point for the Ebola be hit. So like we been be most of the homes will be reached. Now we are the only organization will be reaching at the side in the. So you go imagine, you know, what now they mean to them. And this one way more deadly or way more the spread than Ebola. I go look like. So we appeal to partners them. We not say come give you what you don't outsource. But just team up with we, let you get the right message, may you put the right thing together where people with disability then go able for prevent themselves against this sick.
Okay, now Abubakar, just quick one because we're about to wrap up the program now. With this una campaign we una do launch, what una try for achieve out of this?
I will just highlight 2 things we want to achieve. One, what happen Ebola will now may happen this COVID-19. One part the achievement we want CC girl picking there for stay home and focus towards their studies. And CC then are girls and they will always realize the potential and focus towards everything we relating to girl picking. The second achievement we want to achieve as an organization, we want to make them back stand firm and advocate to them colleagues them when they're not able to get the opportunity, forget all this privilege there. As an organization, we don't scatter ourselves. Let me say from Monday, we get for start for engage social medias. We they put videos relating to sexual offense, and then the video they carry up a message. We say you self as person where you go watch, or you as girl you watch that video, or you when you go to your community based on the message you will spread, you go able to take her in a good path, and so that you will go out there and implement that to your colleagues there.
Okay, well, Blessing, just quick one before we wrap up. What you go like for say out there?
Well, I want to say to each and every Sierra Leoneans that we forgot the wash we and avoid for touch we face, and we forgot to use sanitizer and also prevent ourselves from this deadly disease because prevention is better than cure.
Okay, well now Marcia, you just quick message.
A message not to colleague disabled out there. I want for talk to them if they listen we. May they not trivialize COVID-19. May them believe say COVID-19 is real and that's where you disabled, forbidden. You come in contact with this virus, you in case a more worse. Like when my brother they say, now one chance is to 10. For me you go survive them and not go easy. So may they observe precautionary measures them as stated by health officials there. And at the same time I want to talk to Papa government say Disability issues, not so issues with them for the downplay on. We constitute 35% of the country's population, and therefore always focus to we in every situation because we are more vulnerable. If they think of any other vulnerable group, let persons with disability be on top of a situation wherever they think of vulnerable people, because it was surprising for no say still people of disability they see they we not get sanitary kits, they not get materials there for prevent themselves. Yes, governments though they do well with the complementing efforts, then they during lockdowns them they can help for provide food. Yes, then they do well, but yet prevention is better than cure. You not go say somebody for prevent, but you not give them the requisite materials they in need for preventing self. And persons with disability, they don't class we say now poor people them. So may they help we forget the sanitary kits them. May they help we for promote disability issues. May they not trivialize the disability issues. Disability issues now one of the issues where governments will pay key attention to in this country.
Okay. I will just quick one.
To stakeholders, and particularly we get the resources and then get what it take for reach out to people and we disabled. We not say una go the can give within una gets, but at least una go the seek expert advice on disability so that una go be able to do the right thing, because disability issue is a very complex issue. If you go by that charity approach, then you miss them. Now a rights-based approach, we don't need for big for something where we deserve. We not a shame, you know. Only in this country you go see somebody go tell you say, well, now vulnerable disabled with the targets. Where disability itself now vulnerability. So we want that one day for change. You understand? If we as a nation today we get a safety net, let it cover. I mean the entire people that were disabled, and then we try as much as possible for handle the situation.
Okay, plenty thank you on a Gemini program. Well, in this edition of the program we on challenge we left you for today. Plenty thank you to DJ Sugar Cane for technical support, and Seth Franklin Injai and Cherno Jallo and Seth other people already part of the technical team. We make this program on our live na Facebook. Well, not forget for listening to we on challenge every Thursday 4 to 5 p.m. for look and listen to the program we own challenge. So till we meet again in Princess Pierce, we don't produce and present this program.
You want know wetin dey happen na the disabled community na Salone?
Now for listening to we own challenge program.